Hi everyone, I am Rashim Mogha and welcome to my channel where we talk about career, mindfulness, inclusive leadership, productivity and success. Now today's video is another personal video for me, very personal video because today I'm going to reveal my biggest failure. Now our lives are full of successes. They're also full of a lot of learning opportunities which we call failures. Now, before we start talking about my biggest failure and I start sharing that personal story with you, a quick reminder to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell icon so that you can be notified every time I release a new video. So now let's talk about my biggest failure. Last week, as you know, I mentioned about me doing a lot of inner work as part of this positive intelligence program so that I can be a better coach and bring even more value to my coaches. And through this process, what I am doing is I am revisiting my saboteurs and my sage. And last week, as you know, I revealed my biggest enemy. And this week, it's time for me to reveal my biggest failure to you. As part of this positive intelligence framework, what I have been doing is I've been spending a lot of time reflecting on my life, my failures, and how I have been able to successfully convert them into gifts. And my failures now, I call them learning opportunities. And I have many of those in my life. But the failure that I'm going to be talking about today, my biggest failure, is the failure that changed the course of my life. And if that failure would not have been a part of my journey, I would not be here today talking to you about positive intelligence. I would not be talking to you about success and leadership. There would have been no Fast Track Your Leadership Career, which is my #1 Amazon best-selling book. There would have been no keynotes, no speeches, and no EVOW, which is the Empowered Women of the World initiative that I launched. So are you ready for me to reveal the biggest failure of my life to you? I think you are. So I'm going to talk about it. So many of you know that I actually come from India. And in India, when I was growing up as a kid, you were either a doctor or an engineer, or you were nobody. So because my dad was a doctor, it was assumed that I was going to be a doctor as well. And I would naturally go to medical school. So when I was in 11th grade, which is high school over here, I fell sick, and I fell sick for months. And as a result of that, I did not clear my pre-medical exam, or medical entrance exam, as it's called in India. And hence, there was no medical school for me. So this totally left me devastated. I was labeled a failure by everybody in the society, including myself. I continuously blamed myself for this. I think this also left my family devastated because all my future, all of my plans, my life, and how it would shape up was based on me being a doctor. And now that I was not going to be a doctor, there was nothing for me to look forward to. So I was depressed for months. I enrolled myself for a botany major in college, but I could never just pull myself out of the bed to go to college. For months, I would just lie there in the bed and I cried. I did not know what to do with my life. I begged my mom to not send me to college. I said I would do anything. I would do household chores. I would do whatever you asked me to do, but I cannot pull myself together. I cannot study anymore. I don't know what will become of my life. I was just depressed and crying and blaming myself. Also, suddenly, from being this role model child on the block, I became nobody to everybody. So my identity was lost in the process as well. This was a very hard time for me until one day my mom sat down with me and she said, Rashim, what are you going to do from here? That's what that matters. And that is the point when I realized that I still had an opportunity to shape up my life the way I wanted to do it. And I also realized for me to be able to do that, I would have to take action. Like, it would not happen. Like, life would not reveal itself to me and change for better if I didn't take action. So that was a turning point, I think, in my life when I started looking at this failure as a learning opportunity. And it so happened that my mom came across a scholarship program for computer science program that a company was launching in India. And she told me, she said, go take this exam. We'll see what happens, but at least go take this exam. So I took the scholarship exam, I got the scholarship, and I decided to pursue that computer science program. Now, it was only after 8 years of signing up and enrolling for this computer science program, I realized what a gift it was. It was the biggest gift of my life because it changed the course of my life completely. And I'll tell you why. Because had I cleared that medical entrance exam, had I become a doctor, there was no way I could leave India and come to United States to pursue my life, pursue my dreams, and pursue a life that was on my own terms and not on terms of anybody else. Now, for those of you who haven't read my book, Fast Track Your Leadership Career, I talk about it a little more. I actually escaped an arranged marriage in India to come to United States to find my own dreams, my own life, and shape my life the way I wanted it to be. Now, had I been a doctor, I would not be able to do that. I was only able to do that because after completing my computer science program, I joined an edtech company that had a division here in United States, and I could leverage the sponsors over there to move to United States when I was under the pressure to get married as part of the arranged marriage ritual that happens in India. And if that wouldn't have been the case, like if I didn't have this computer science degree, I wasn't working for this edtech company, and I wouldn't have leveraged these sponsors, I would have never been able to move here on a company transfer and find a life of myself. So I think that it took me a long time to realize. It took me 8 years to realize how that one failure became the biggest gift of my life. And that's the beauty. That's the beauty when you start looking at your failures as learning opportunities. And that's what your sage actually brings in, those 5 powers. It took me a long time to realize that I had to fight my saboteurs who were telling me that I was not good enough, and actually invoke my inner sage to look, and the 5 powers, which are essentially, empathizing with myself, exploring other options, innovating and trying to see what works best for me, navigating the situation and activating those powers to be able to truly see that gift in my failure. So after that failure and after all this happened, my attitude towards these failures changed completely. Now, I'm not saying that I don't have failures now. I call them learning opportunities. But I know that with each learning opportunity, there'll be so many gifts that I will be bestowed. And those gifts would actually help me change the course of my life. They'll help me grow as an individual. So now I welcome these learning opportunities. I look past my saboteurs. I look at my inner sage and let my inner sage drive me forward with those powers to find those gifts that are hidden in those learning opportunities. So I would love to hear from you. What is your biggest failure? What is your biggest learning opportunity? And how you have been able to convert that learning opportunity into a gift for yourself. So So that was it for this week. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, now is the time to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell icon to get notified every time I release a new video. I look forward to your comments on this video. I look forward to hearing from you. Here is to a wonderful, wonderful week, and keep succeeding.